We said yes not because we wanted to, but because we had no other choice. And when they showed up, two of them, I didn't say a word, I just let them in. And my husband had to witness everything. Quick note for this story. I wanted to explore something a little darker than usual. Just slightly different. I hope you enjoy it. Looking forward to reading your feedback in the comments. Thanks for being here. Let's begin. We can still stop this, he said. Almost like it was meant for himself. I didn't look at him, my eyes were fixed on the floor, tracing the pattern in the carpet. I'd vacuumed twice already. Anything to keep my hands busy. Anything but thinking about what was about to happen. We don't have to go through with it. His voice was louder now. I exhaled slowly through my nose. Yes, we do. He turned toward me on the couch, his leg bouncing uncontrollably. I could see the panic behind his eyes, still searching for some other way anyway. But this will figure something out. We always do know. Not this time. I looked at him, then really looked the man I married. The man who used to make me feel safe. Now sitting beside me, terrified of what I was about to do. You don't understand, I said. There's no time left, we need the money. This is the only option we have. The words tasted bitter, even though we'd already had this conversation a dozen times. I didn't want this, God. I didn't want this, but what we needed and what we wanted weren't the same anymore. He shook his head, his hand gripping his knee like it might anchor him to something real. I can't believe we're actually doing this. He whispered, neither can I. I blinked hard. My throat felt tight. I wasn't calm. I was holding it in. You think I want this? I asked. My voice cracked on the last word. I hate even the thought of it. The room was too quiet. Even the walls felt like they were holding their breath. I could feel my heart pounding in my neck, like it was trying to claw its way out. He leaned forward, elbows on his knees. Staring at the floor now, too. I'll stay. I'm not leaving you alone with them. I know if you want to stop. We won't, he looked up. His lips were parted like he wanted to argue. But there was nothing left to say. I smoothed the front of my dress with trembling hands. My skin felt too tight every second, stretched thinner. Like we were waiting at the edge of a cliff. And then a knock at the door. The knock echoed once I didn't move. Just breathed slow. Steady, like I was still trying to convince my body this was fine. That I could do this, I stood first. Behind me, I heard my husband shift reluctantly. But as I turned toward the hallway, I felt his hand rest lightly on my shoulder. Just for a moment, just enough to say, I'm still with you. I walked to the door. When I opened it, they were already staring. 2 men, one older. Maybe in his 50s, taller than I expected. The other younger, leaner, sharper looking, probably my age or less. Neither of them smiled, no greetings. No names. They stepped inside without asking. My husband followed silently, closing the door behind them. None of us spoke. They didn't look around, didn't say a word. One of them set a small black bag down near the wall. I didn't ask what was in it. I didn't need to this way. I said, my voice didn't shake. I didn't let it. I led them down the hallway. I could hear the weight of their steps behind me, slow, deliberate. My husband stayed close, his pace matching mine. When we reached the bedroom door, I paused for just a second. Then I pushed it open and stepped inside. The lights were low, the bed was made. The sheets were already pulled back, like it was just another task. I heard the door click shut behind us. He didn't leave. My husband moved to the armchair in the corner and sat down slowly, hands on his knees, staring straight ahead. I didn't look at him instead. I bent down and slipped off my shoes. One at a time, set them beside the bed. My hands were steady behind me. I heard the soft rustle of clothing. They were undressing, not rushed. Not hesitant, like this was routine for them. I stood at the edge of the bed, spine straight, arms at my sides. I stared at the wall across from me. I felt the younger one approach before I saw him. He didn't speak. He reached up and brushed my hair gently off my shoulder. His hand lingered warm, familiar. But wrong in every way, I didn't flinch. Then he leaned in and kissed me. Software measured a test. I didn't kiss him back. I didn't pull away. I let it happen. I didn't move at all. Then the older one stepped forward. Their hands found me before I could react. Deliberate, fast. Without pause, the straps of my dress slipped from my shoulders, the fabric pulling at my feet like it had nothing left to do. I didn't reach for it. I kept my arms at my sides. This wasn't about them. It wasn't about me either. It was about what we needed. The younger one leaned in, warm breath brushing my skin. His grip followed, firm, unmeasured. Not searching for approval, the older one dropped lower, steadying me from behind. His breath found the space I tried not to acknowledge. I clenched my jaw. Stay still. Get through it. Don't feel... I stared at a crack in the wall. A dent in the molding, anything that didn't move. They didn't speak. They didn't slow. I wasn't a person to them. Just something to act on. I didn't flinch. I didn't close my eyes. The younger one stepped away and laid back on the bed, waiting like this had all been planned before we even opened the door. The older one turned my face toward him. Then gently but without question. He guided me downward. I paused briefly. Not to resist, just to breathe. Then I let it happen, no sound. No protest. I followed the motion like it had been rehearsed. Then they shifted me again. Hands at my waist lifting, turning, lowering. I was placed over the younger one, exactly where he expected me to be. My palms rested on his chest for balance. That was all. He shifted beneath me. Sudden and unhesitating, I inhaled once. Held it behind me. I felt the other one move closer. His hand curled around the back of my neck. The other reached forward, studying me again. I didn't speak. Didn't push back. One moved below me. The other kept his hold. They didn't ask. And I didn't feel. Not yet. Keep breathing. Don't think. Don't react. Then more shifting. They moved me off and turned me onto my back. The older one leaned over first. The younger one followed, hovering above. There was no rhythm, just movement, just repetition. My head rolled with the motion. My hands clenched at the fabric beneath me. Still, I kept my face still, but inside something was loosening. It crept in, the tension, the strain I tried to block. I turned my head. My husband was still in the corner, still present, still distant. I closed my eyes, took one breath. Then they moved me again. Now I was on all fours. The younger one leaned back against the pillows. The older one adjusted my stance from behind. They weren't coordinating, just acting. Their hands held me steady. One guiding, one controlling. There was no space left to choose anything. They moved harder, closer. In sync, my elbows slipped. My breath hitched. I was unraveling. I tried to stay cold, tried to stay still, tried to hold it back one more second. Just one more, but I couldn't. I shattered. I was still trembling. They were still moving, surrounding me, consuming what I hadn't already lost. Their rhythm didn't falter, like nothing had just broken inside me. My arms were weak. My breath came in shallow bursts. And when I lifted my head, I saw him, my husband, still in the chair, still here. But his eyes weren't on me. He stared at the floor, expression blank. Mouth parted slightly, hands limp on his knees. He wasn't gone, not physically. But something in him had started to drift. Not from the room, from me. I looked away, but they didn't. They adjusted me without speaking. One man shifted back. The other moved beneath me, hands guiding me into place, like it was something, practice, something done before I straddled the younger one. My knees weak beneath me. My legs trembled with the memory of what had just been taken. I tried to center myself, to steady my breathing. to recover control, but I felt the other one closing in from behind. Deliberate, certain. His hands lowered me slowly, guiding me with careful pressure until I felt it sharp, director. Unexpected, I gasped. My hands went to the younger man's chest, instinctively searching for balance. But he didn't pause. He pressed upward, measured. Unrelenting, and the pressure bent my back, pulled a sharp breath from my throat, forced my lips apart still. I didn't make a sound, not yet. I locked my jaw, tensed every muscle I had left, tried to vanish into stillness, but they didn't let me. The younger one moved first, shallow at first. Then stronger. His hands clutched my hips, keeping me aligned with his motion. The one behind me stayed buried deep, rotating gently, drawing out tension until I felt like I was being pulled in two. I bit down hard, dug my nails into the chest beneath me. Willed myself to stay blank, but they didn't care I was moving. Dragged into one rhythm while stretched by another. The tempo rose, my skin burned. My breathing broke. I could feel myself being pulled to a place I didn't want to return to. And then it happened sudden. Harsh, unwanted. A sound escaped before I could stop it. Loud, real. I slapped a hand over my mouth, horrified. But it was too late. They heard it, and they answered. Their tempo surged, their grip tightened, the weight of their bodies pressed in harder. I tried to hold steady, to stay silent, to resist the building tension, but I was already unraveling. Another crash overtook me harder. This time deeper, I couldn't contain it. My spine arched, my head dropped forward, my voice cracked out guttural sharp. Soaked in guilt, and when I opened my eyes, the chair was empty. He was gone, and I hadn't even noticed him leave. I'd been too caught in it, too loud, too far gone in that truth. It shattered something inside me I hadn't even protected. They didn't let me linger in it. I was turned again, lifted. Lowered my back to the mattress. One of them took his place between my legs. Moving without delay, the other leaned in above me. One hand resting at my throat, the other guiding my head toward him. I couldn't stop it. I couldn't even slow it. They moved in unison, methodical, practiced certain... I tried to stay quiet again, but the sounds forced their way out, gasps. Sharp exhales, broken noise that didn't sound like mine. I clenched my lips shut, bit down harder. Don't give them more. Don't let it rise again. Don't let them know what it's doing to you. But every time I locked down, they forced more from me. The one above held firmer. The one below drove harder. Faster, unforgiving. My fists gripped the sheets. My head thrashed against the pillow. Hold it, hold it. Hold it, but I broke. The force hit me like a flood, violent. Unstoppable, absolute. My body arched, my throat opened wide. The sound that left me was primal. And then silence. I collapsed, boneless, breathless. I didn't remember the lift, only that I was suddenly in the air, held between them, body moving in rhythm with theirs. Limbs slack, one behind, one beneath, unrelenting total. There was nothing left in me to fight with. Their pace never faltered. The weight, the push, the way they took everything. It cracked me open. I didn't rise. I fractured, and as my voice left me again, I felt the last of my strength vanish with it. The one behind tightened his grip. Breath heavy in my ear, the one below locked his arms, pulled me tight and groaned low. Then they let go. I fell to the bed bare. Shaking hollow. I didn't move. I couldn't. My chest rose once, then again, fragile. Empty, and as the last of their heat left my skin, the shame took its place. It came fast. Sharp total. They dressed in silence. The door opened. Closed, and I stayed there. Not just emptied, but ashamed of how much I gave. That's the end of the story. This one was a little darker than usual. Something slightly different from what I normally share. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. Did it work for you? Was it too far off? Drop a comment and let me know. Your feedback means a lot. And if you enjoyed it, Don't forget to like the video and hit subscribe. Thanks for being here. It really does mean the world.